So the last time prosecution tried to prove that Walter White was never a good man, and many more accusations you made on my client, and now I'm going to prove that you were all wrong. Whoa, wait, what is this? Huh? What kind of rush is this? You said I have to prove, right? I'm going to prove now. Just listen. Wait. It does not work like that. Understand? You have to wait. Let me just tell what is all this about. Okay? Weird stuff. I don't understand this. So, in case you have missed the session 1, then this is for you. This is the session 2 of Was Walter White a good person or a bad person in court? Usually I don't do that, but sometimes you have to do when you take cases like this. What are you both staring now? Start. So prosecution blamed many things on Walter White, like he was not a great husband, great son, and many more things. And most importantly, he blamed many things on Walter White, which I am going to prove today was only blames and they were not part of any truth. Yes. So let's start with first one. That is, he said that Walter White was a gruesome, cruel killer. Wait, why are you staring at me while giving your points? Who else I should stare at, huh? The jury? I'm trying to prove you wrong, right? So I should stare at you. Maybe, but jury is the one who's going to decide, right? Whatever, man. You're just trying to deviate my point. Let me complete my point first, okay? So, let me get back to my point. Yeah, what was my point? Yes, I got it. Yes. So my point was that you told that Walter was a gruesome killer and he killed Crazy 8 and Emilio, right? But actually the point is after he killed, I think, I don't know what's his name, whatever, he actually cried. He cried like a baby and he said like something like, oh, I did it, I killed him, something like that, showing that he still has humanity in him. He was good, he was not having any ill intentions. It's just you who are putting your stuff in packing in a very very good gift package and trying to manipulate. My lord, grieving over the mistakes don't turn them anything like it was not a mistake. So this point is just a trash. Yes, my lord. Now you don't have the point, and that's why you're saying like this. You will never say that that was from the other person who tried to kill and using that broken plate, and that was in a self-defense that he did, and it was something like an impulsive action, not something that is very calculated, manipulated like you. Huh? Seems someone has come to prove something. I like that. Okay, are you now going to cry over the one point or one blame according to you that I gave? You don't have any other point? Come on, answer me that. Yes, I do have. You don't need to worry about that. The first point that I have, other than the first point that I previously told, is that after having all the things sorted or created the mess with Tuco after their first deal, Walter comes to home and actually forces himself on Skylar. What does that mean? Actually, he's just a kid inside and he don't know how to process things and how to react things, and also Skylar don't like it. So my point, jury, is that actually Walter White is just in a very difficult condition that he himself is not capable of handling. Firstly, he has cancer that has caused some mental illness in him, which I will come in later parts of the arguments. And on the top of this is this thing that he can't handle things. He's not smart enough to handle things, jury. My lord, he's saying that person who uses ricin instead of gun to kill his opposition, not smart. I don't know what kind of delusional reality is this. Jury, you know that this is all wrong. He was never doing that and he's not that smart. It's just his chemistry thing. He's a genius in chemistry. He sees everywhere chemistry. That's very, very normal for something or someone like Walter White. I hope you get my point, right? And one more thing that proves that he's not smart. He went naked in a market just to prove that he had some mind lapse moment in his life. Wow. That was emotional manipulation of his family, like the greatest move he could ever make against his family, not hurting them, my lord. And now I would like to put few points that proves my accusation to be true, my lord. First is actually Walter names his son Flynn. Oh no, not Flynn, because he names his son Walter Jr. Like naming his son on himself, that's something proves like he has some existential crisis, he has some issues with how he is perceived in the world, his self-respect, his self-esteem, ego, societal respect. And the second point is he actually makes or tries to make Flynn, I'm going to call him Flynn, drive in his own way that Walter perceives is correct. That is very small detail, my lord, but it proves that how much of Walter wants everything in his control. These are very small things. I think you should bring something good. Prosecution, and yes, the important stuff. His sexual life. My lord, it is not good. His wife is not happy with how he actually is sexually. I think that is one more thing that focuses on what the state and what kind of situation Walter is in. And the second or the foremost, most important point that I'm going to give now is not giving the 50% money of the meth that he cooked and sell to Jesse. And it was, point to be noted, my lord, initiated by Walter himself after everything that happened with Tuco, even after Jesse didn't want to continue. Okay, all these things considered, and if this was all for some 30s or 20s guy, then I would accept. He still needs to manage all these things, but he's in his fucking 50s. Language. Sorry, jury, hold on. Let me continue my point. So, all these things that you told are just like something, some weird fantasies for a 50s guy, maintaining sexual life, giving good lessons to his kid, and also being very good to him, and also giving 50% to Jesse just because he just created problems in the desert and he didn't do anything good to Walter. What? So, because the difference don't have answer, he's turning this into something like man is carrying already too much of weight, kind of social stuff. But let me get into the point straight. That is, if he's such a 50-year mature guy, then why he behaved like a rude, mean guy with Gretchen? Simply because they had problems in the past. Like, and few more things, like she was just getting into his business that was none of her business, and that's why he gave her the answer she deserves. Yes. See, my lord, this is just pure contradiction, and this itself says that the difference don't have any valid point to like have an articulation. It's just like a good sticks, but good sticks don't make a long bridge. They just make a broken bridge that is no matter what just will collapse. Like this case. My lord. Oh, come on, this is nothing like that. Firstly, anyone needs self-respect, and if you are telling that actually he's mean, rude, and dot 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 whatever is that, then why did Walter just went to kidnap Saul to save someone like Jesse's friend, that is Badger? Like, why would you do that if he was that bad according to you? I'm asking you a question. Come on. My lord, it was just because he wanted Jesse on his side, and Jesse will be on his side when Badger is with him, basically out of the jail or something like that. So it was nothing that Walter had any good intentions. He always had cruel intention. He was very calculative, manipulative, destructive in his minds, just not seen by the society. Seems good. Continue. And now, my lord, is today's most important question that I'm going to ask to the difference. And let's see what answer does the difference have. When after everything, when Walter is happy with the money, he got whatever money he needs. And now when the doctor says that he's healing, he's not happy about healing. He's not happy that he's going to live more years or more months with his family. He's instead angry. He smashes a, I think, can. Yeah, showing that he never wanted to live. My lord. Jury, he's a man of very respect in the society, so he wanted the respect he already had, and maybe the Heisenberg thing would just cause a problem. So that's why he wanted to die instead of just living, and that is the reason he was not happy. There's nothing more. And one more thing that I would like to stress here, if you remember, Walter just gave himself a name like Heisenberg with Tuco and all the other that he does with meth stuff, proving that he has a disorder, a mental disorder that can happen after cancers and chemotherapies, all he's going through. So that's a very good explanation of his condition. And in the whole 5 seasons, it was never said that he didn't have any mental issues. And the way the prosecution pointed out that he has some mental issues naming his son on his own name properly supports what I'm meaning to say now. That's a very brilliant point from the defense, my lord, and that's a really, really good way of justifying all that Walter had done and will be doing in the further sessions. We are going to discuss and unwind all the cruel things he done, but there's a catch here. That is, when split personality or any mental disorder like this happens, there is no way the other personalities can know what the other personality is doing or have done. I want to see what kind of defense now the defense has for it. Oh, you think I don't have an answer for this? Come on, I have an answer. I've done my homework, pal. And that is Billy Milligan. Jury, that case was of 1977. Wait, I'm right? Huh? Yeah, 1977. 1977, jury. And it was like that Billy Gilligan had 27 personalities, and many of the personalities knew what the other personalities are doing, and they didn't even interfere between it. So this can happen, and it has been proven in a legit real case. Are you happy with this prosecution? Okay, my lord, even if I agree that that is true, you don't need to agree. It's true. It is true. Understand? Prosecution. Okay, it is true. So, why did actually Walter not quit after every money he needed and he is now having the money? Instead, he went in to cook more. And that too with someone like Gus. Of come on. Firstly, he needed money because the treatment is going on and he might just have miscalculated. That was a safety kind of thing he was doing, like more money, more cushion for his family. And the second thing that you have pointed out that why he is joined with Gus, because it have a very, very good reason, jury, that he is not pointing out because you don't want it to point out, but I will. And that is the point is Combo's death. Combo was just dead on a main road, killed by some kid with a gun by some other meth cooking gangs just because they didn't want Walter's meth, which is the best meth on the ground. My lord, if he wanted, he could have stopped, but he instead chosen with Gus. And even after Gus actually rejected him and he one more time tried, and at what cost? He actually missed the birth of his second child for this meth. And I think this was the moment where Walter was completely into the game. Then he didn't see anything, nothing in future, in past, nothing. And this was the reason he actually let Jane die. He literally killed a innocent girl who didn't even knew what was she into and why she just went from this world. Of come on, it was more of a very, very good tactical move. Gus has really, really good things. He has nice connections. He could just get out of any big hurdle that he faces. And second most, Jane, that girl was never a good thing for anyone. She's a drug addict. She brought back Jesse into addiction. She made problems for everyone. Does that give any right to Walter to solve problems in the way he dealt with? Huh? Come on. No, my lord. Jury, he's just trying to complicate things. No, this is not like what he's trying to fabricate. There have been many consequences and many series of incidents that has led to all this, and I'm going to talk about it. Wait, let me. Firstly, there is a combo's death because of all the business he's trying to do, and he will not do anything upfront. He will use Jesse's friends like some pawns for himself, and then he will put them in danger. And once someone dies, he just randomly will go to someone like Gus or Saul to get help, and then he will redirect him to Gus, and then he will try to connect with Gus, and even after rejections, he will try to get his deal done. At what cost? Missing his own child's birth. Okay, it's his personal choice. Then what? He actually let someone like Jane die, who didn't even know what was she into, and with all knowing the consciousness consequences of this, my lord, consequences. He knew the consequences of what he was doing during his child's birth, during his Jane's death, and he even launders money into his kid's website, or actually using his kid's website, that is Flynn's website. And he's not happy about that. He's not happy for Flynn's happiness. He is more like, this is all my money, why I have to launder it, I'm not getting the respect I should get. All this, having the consciousness and knowing the consequences, I don't think there's anything left to justify, because from now into the further sessions, the consequences, the actions that Walter did are just going to be bland and out crimes, my lord. Seems this session has just peaked, and I see that in the silence that is here in the court. So, let's continue more in the next session. Until then, go watch the previous session videos, man. Maybe here.